Sony's exclusive party shooter game FOAMSTARS is receiving one more season of content, and then it's over for content for the game. In a brand new blog post from Square Enix, they announced a new season called Party Goes On and said, this season will take place on December 13th and last until January 17th, but season updates for FOAMSTARS will be coming to an end. And FOAMSTARS is kind of a weird one for me. Like, I played the game. I played it when it was free on PlayStation Plus, and then I saw that you were trying to sell the game for non-PlayStation Plus members, and I don't know. It just, you could clearly see that PlayStation was like, let's make our version of Splatoon, but it wasn't Splatoon, and the gameplay just never really hooked me. And I think I played it for a solid 2.5, 3 hours when the game came out, and I couldn't get the grasp of what am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? And that's nothing against you as a gamer, it's just the game wasn't for me. Now, despite this being the final season, Square did mention that they will be keeping these servers up, specifically noting that in-game expansions will be introduced to enhance gameplay moving forward. Expansions will add the ability to customize shots, add new enhancement elements, and ensure players will continue to enjoy the game moving forward. And this is one of those weird things, because even though the seasonal content is ending, it's hard not to look at this story and be like, this is an L for PlayStation and an L for Square Enix. Especially since Sony has had a trend of games as a service really struggle to exist. I mean, look at it from this generation. And again, one of Sony's biggest fans here, but this might be one of the biggest blemishes on the Sony brand. I mean, you take a studio who, the previous generation, blew the top off just by releasing games of God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, and then this generation, they're let's forget all of that. Let's get into games as a service, right? That's where the money is. And then you see games like Destruction All-Stars, Concord, the Last of Us multiplayer game, which got canceled before it released, FOAMSTARS, which is not receiving seasonal content. It's kind of being sunsetted from the studio. And then you find out Sony canceled a Spider-Man multiplayer video game from Insomniac. And on the outside, I'm just okay, 2 of those games that never came out would have been absolutely sick. The other 3, I can understand the risk. But also, where are the single-player games? Right? Yes, we get a couple single-player games. We get the new Death Stranding coming out next year, and I think there's Ghost of Tsushima 2 coming out next year, but where are my God of Wars? Where are my Last of Us? Where are my Uncharted's? Where are my Horizons? Where are all these other games that we've come to know for the PlayStation brand? And yes, I know that I'm going out here, but also, where the hell is my Order 1886 sequel? Where is my Days Gone sequel? Give me those people. I would much rather pay a higher premium for those games than pay for a season pass in a games as a service that is it's okay. And again, I say that as the biggest Sony fanboy in the room. Granted, there's 2 of us in here, so that's not really saying a lot, but I say that as someone who is a massive fan of Sony. It is concerning. And I really hope that PlayStation looks at the previous launches of games as a service and says let's get back to what we're good at, right? Let's get back to releasing single-player narrative-driven games. But I will say, the one interesting note here is I would love to see what's going to happen to FOAMSTAR's player base after this announcement happened. Obviously we can't track it on Steam because it's a PlayStation exclusive video game. But I would love to know how many people are still playing this game after you get an announcement like this from Square Enix, because I got to imagine not having seasonal content, you're really not going to be driving more new players to the game, which means the existing player base is probably going to be stuck in lobbies, and it's going to take longer and longer and longer, and it's just going to keep dropping, eventually leading to Square Enix being hey, we're shutting down the FOAMSTARS servers. But that's obviously not going to happen anytime soon. I think that they've at least committed to the next year or 2 years of supporting this game, but still a crazy time for PlayStation. I genuinely say this with all love and appreciation for the hard work that goes into making video games, but please get back to single-player video games. I genuinely love those, and I want to see more of them.